This is FCTV, fan-controlled television. Programs created and produced for the fans, by the fans of fan-controlled sports and entertainment. As always, power to the fans. And now, it's time for the show.
Nice clearing your throat there right before the mic came on.
Wow. You can hear it.
I was just looking at Ezekiel Elliott's stats, if you will.
What he walked 100 steps from his car to the stadium. That was like his only stats. That was his rushing stats.
I was going to say, is that his rushing attempts? Was his rushing attempts like leaving his car and getting to the locker room? Would that consider a rushing stat?
Or every time he trotted off the field from a 3-and-out?
Yeah.
Counts.
Najee Harris yesterday in the pitiful Steelers offense, and we're going to get into this in a little bit. He was our number one receiver and our number one rusher because we stink.
Anyway. Y'all stink. I had to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch that crap. I mean,
Leighton, move to the West Coast and get in on breakfast football. Breakfast everything. Every sport is breakfast.
I was thinking about that. Like I was looking at the Colorado USC game and I realized, hold on, it was a 12 o'clock kickoff over here, so they're playing 9 a.m. college football.
Oh yeah.
Sounds kind of premium.
It is awesome. Your whole day, you wake up. Anyway, you wake up, you go right into football. On the East Coast, I remember like the first NFL Sunday when I lived back on the East Coast, or I was just back on the East Coast visiting my parents. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta wait till 1 o'clock for this game. Dude.
Yeah.
NFL football starts at 10 a.m. You like have a breakfast burrito. Man, it's over by 1. You got the rest of your day. You can go play a round of golf after you're done watching golf. Oh man, it's incredible.
Nice.
OVO Go says it best: breakfast and beer, aka kegs and eggs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to work. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to work. We're here every single Monday. The last couple of Mondays, we've done a live watch along with Monday Night Football. We're going to be getting back into those. Today is my wife's birthday, so I am going to try and take her out to dinner tonight. We got a babysitter. Nice. Act like a good husband, Leighton. You know.
Nice.
Maybe have like
we're celebrating our anniversary tomorrow, so I do a nice little, foot massage.
Oh.
That's for me. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for her, but that's for me. I'm gonna get my
Leighton, big feet guy. Our 6-year wedding anniversary was on Saturday, so I've got two major husband responsibility days in a 3-day period. I've got an anniversary, a day off, a birthday, a day off. Like I've got, you know what I mean? It's intense in there. It's intense.
Yeah,
it's intense. You know what I mean?
Some
spa treatments. Yeah. Oh, which means we got a babysitter, which means we both take a nap in the car before we get to dinner.
That's nap time.
Do we have at the bottom of our hill? We live up on a hill, and at the bottom of our hill is like the last place where I get cell phone service before I start climbing the mountain and I lose service, right? So if I'm on a call, I'll be on a call down there and I'll text the man and she's like, "Where are you?" I was like, I'm on a call. Don't worry about it. I'll be up in a second. I'll say that the call ends at like 3:30. Really, it ends at 3:15, and I've got 15 minutes to just take a 15-minute nap in the car before I head up the hill.
Nice.
You know.
That's how you do it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. OVO Ghost in the chat, Peanut in the chat. Good to see you guys. Good to see Ray, the one and only, who's celebrating her anniversary. Ray and Lay tomorrow. OVO Ghost, it doesn't get better. I wish I could be here to tell you that our Steelers are going to get better, but until we get rid of Matt Canada and figure out some way to produce offense, we are in a lot of trouble.
You know what? Is there something against coordinators named Matt? Because at LSU, our defensive coordinator is Matt House, and we're ranked like 113th national right now. Offense is ranked 4th. Defense is 113th. So I think it's something about coordinators named Matt something. Matt House, Matt Canada. They all got to go.
Is Matt LaFleur still in the league? What's he doing? What's Matt LaFleur? Where's he?
Coaching the Packers, right?
Is he the head coach of the Packers? Is Matt LaFleur Is that what I'm thinking? He's not doing a bad job.
He was the one that like cried, after halftime.
Yeah, cried. Yeah. All of a sudden, the Lions. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Well, Jay Spacely, Jay Spacely, it's a good thing you brought that up because our first topic of today is: do we apologize to Cowboys fans? Do we now believe they're legit, or are the Patriots that bad? Do they stink?
Patriots are that bad because I looked at the Cowboys schedule and all the teams they've dominated are not good teams this year. I mean, they've dominated the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots, but then they also got dominated by the Cardinals. So I don't think this has anything to do with the Cowboys. I think they just have 4 bad teams at the top of their schedule, and they decide to lose one to a bad team.
Wow. I saw something like everybody hammer Ezekiel Elliott on an anytime touchdown. I'm like, absolutely not. No, do not do that. First of all, Bill Belichick doesn't run running backs or get players in for revenge. That's not his style at all. If you've learned anything from fantasy football over the last 20 plus years, it's that Bill Belichick is not paying attention to your fantasy football team. He is one of the few coaches that throws to his stars all of the time, especially in the red zone. Tom Brady was the only legitimate person on the Patriots year after year that you could depend on in fantasy. Other than that, he's throwing and running guys you've never heard of a lot of times. Every now and then,
a lot of them tried out for the team that morning
and made it. Yes.
Yeah, made it because they did their job. That was it.
Yes.
No, I think this might have been the worst comeback of a player, like returning home to their former team. This has to be the worst because I even looked up. I was like, man, what was it like when Vic came back for the Eagles and he came to Atlanta? I mean, the dude had like 2 touchdowns, a couple rushes. Yeah. Zeke had nothing. So I think this is like the worst. This has to be the worst.
Freddie Emerald says, hey guys, would have been here sooner if I knew we had a new showtime. It's okay, Freddie. We're going earlier. It's Amanda's birthday. I got to do some husbandly duties. Next week, Leighton starts classes. So we're going to go back to our fall time, our fall winter time of 1 p.m. Pacific for back to work. We'll send out some announcements on social media. We also have a pretty fun announcement on Thursday. And then we have a big announcement next Thursday. Hopefully.
Yeah.
If the app is in the App Store by next week, Monday, Tuesday, that's what we're hoping for. It depends on Apple, Steve Jobs, satellites, the alien that was in that Mexican court, Elon Musk, a Tesla coil, the new Apple car. They all
a real moon landing, together. All of that, a flat Earth. Of it.
Yeah, Buzz Aldrin, the ghost of Neil Armstrong. Ryan Gosling, I think, has to approve it. Clearly, Taylor Swift has to approve it if it gets
a new Dumbledore. All of it. Yeah. I had to throw that in there. Sorry.
Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Dreamcatcher, and Gryffindor. Slick Sam Slytherin. He's got to get in there. He's got to do it.
All right. Real quick, what voice are you reading Peanuts comments right now? Like the two
Thursday. It's Jay Spacey said, hey, we're pro T Swizzle here. I'm pro T Swizzle too. I love her, but I don't it's the fact that the camera is going straight to Taylor Swift when a touchdown happens and not to the players who are scoring is insane. That is crazy talk to me. Crazy.
Did you see my tweet? I put out my Taylor Swift tweet.
It was really good. It did. It felt. Hey, sometimes the good ones fall flat. Really good. Really did.
Yeah. I put in effort. I did the research and everything, but it's okay.
Yeah. I appreciate appreciate a good song lyric after a good song lyric into a good. It's poetry with more poetry on top of poetry inside of an app that doesn't really appreciate poetry anymore. Leighton, it doesn't. Yeah,
like she didn't.
Yeah, OVO Go says it right. Yeah.
That's true.
We got to get Taylor Swift one of the sheets where she's up there going like, that's one of those guys. I always thought a really fun idea for a sports bar would be how like they have placemats or like underneath sometimes they have under glass, they like lay down pictures and stuff. All of those offensive play calling sheets from games past, put them on there. And so you're like, I wonder what this is. John Gruden and as the Buccaneers head coach against the Raiders in 2002. Let's see what it was. And you're looking at all that. I mean, you could entertain yourself for days.
Wait, can you select? Like you could push the play and then the play pops up in the middle of the table. That'd be cool. Like there's little screens there.
Yeah, if it was the future, that sounds incredible.
Oh yeah. Like, that would be really cool. Like, yo, come in, check out.
I was saying just like the actual highlighted, like the actual laminated document.
Oh yeah,
like
I was thinking total fan experience, interactive dinner. Like,
well, by the way, your fan experience is much better than mine.
Yours is for readers, mine is for the microwave generation.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
I was like, what about like a digital chess? You're like, what if it was real people battling like Harry Potter? I was like, well, that's way better. I mean, that's awesome.
How do you pull that off? Yeah.
OVO Ghost, they might as well sell her a headset with the play sheet. Oh, Afro's in the chat. Afro's in the chat. Look at these two. Pretty Emerald said, I remember a website that had mugs and coasters and stuff with famous football plays diagrammed on them. Oh, like the Immaculate Reception. But it was probably like after the fact. Yeah. So like the quarterback running back and forth and then David Tyree catching it on his head kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah, it's probably going to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I ran the same offense in Madden 95 through 2006. It was just, I ran TE streaks or Joe Horn deep in Madden 2004 for the Saints was unbeatable. You couldn't stop him. He was such a good wide receiver. It was, I know you don't want to hear that because you're not a Saints fan. And at this point, you might not even be a Falcons fan.
Are we getting into the Homer segment now? God,
I feel like we should, Leighton. I feel like this is where, listen, there we are. Okay. We're angry homers. Bark. Dow.
Yeah. Okay. Animation is great.
And I will, you know what, Leighton? I always go first because I feel like I'm angrier. But the way our text thread was yesterday, just me and you as friends talking as if it's going to get better, trying to convince ourselves that it might. It's not. Go. Take the floor. It's yours.
I'm off the Ritter train. I'm off. I'm done. I actually started looking at quarterbacks that are in the draft. I even looked at Penix, and I learned how to say his last name right because it's borderline bad. Yeah,
it's penis. It's real tough.
And Shedeur Sanders has a whole nother year. He actually has up to like 3 years of eligibility left, so I don't think he's going to be in the draft soon. But I'm off of it. I mean, look, offensive play calling is terrible. I think Arthur Smith needs to be questioned. Interior O-line is bad. But the amount of just off-target throws and then 2 back-to-back interceptions, like I know the Jaguars are good, but in my head, the Jaguars are never supposed to beat anybody. And I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning for this. We went to Trader Joe's, bought pumpkin coffee. I put a little pumpkin flavored creamer in it.
Whoa!
But I was smart enough to not double pumpkin, but I was smart enough to not put on any Falcons gear. I didn't do it. So yeah, I'm off. That's my rant.
Well, you know, Leighton, we're 4 games in. Okay, 4 games in. Now, they're talking about who's your backup. They keep talking about putting him in.
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke. Everybody this morning, I was listening. Oh, is Taylor Heineke better than Desmond Ridder? I think it's one or the other. They're basically the same. Either one is. And what is crazy to me, and I say it every year, and it still doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It makes. I don't know how this is possible. That there are only 7 people on the planet that can play this position at a high level consistently. There are flukes here and there. Like, you know, Kenny Pickett will have an awesome game, or Desmond Ridder will have an awesome game, or hell, Mac Jones might have a game here and there. Zach Wilson might have a game here and there. There's still professional quarterbacks. They are the best of the best to not be good enough yet. Okay. And they're leading teams and professional offenses that there are only 7 of these guys. Okay. And out of those 7, there's only really 3 that can lead their team to the Super Bowl at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
It is the only sport on the planet where one position determines literally everything. Unless you get crazy lucky. And like the Steelers have 2 defensive touchdowns and they win a game 14-13. It's the only way.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it, Leighton. I don't get it.
I think we should start. I think quarterbacks are getting paid too much. That's the issue. We're paying them too much coming out of college. That's the issue.
We used to pay them more. We used to have to pay them a lot more. These rookie deals are like a deal now. And
It's at the point, Josh, where I'm not even excited about Caleb Williams coming out of college. Like I don't trust any. Right? I don't trust any of these quarterbacks coming out of college. Honestly, I don't. I would rather let Aaron Rodgers heal and try him out again, or go hit up a Tom Brady and say, "Do you still got it?" Because there's just something off about the quarterbacks. It could be the fact that defensive players are just as fast, if not faster, than some of these offenses as a whole.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm just not excited, man. The quarterback situation sucks.
It's awful. I mean, Goose Rocket, who I've never seen in the chat before, but that's a great name. It's a hell of a name. Joe Burrow. I don't even know if I put Joe Burrow in there this year. Joe Burrow is getting paid, but also I said it to my brother on Saturday, and he kind of laughed in the way that I said it. I was like, how long are the Bengals going to play Joe Burrow until his Achilles explodes out of his foot? Because it is every time he steps back, I'm like, this is going to be the play. This is going to be the play. This is going to be the play. And I don't think it's Joe Burrow's fault. Like he's just going to be an injury-prone quarterback the rest of his career. And when he's healthy, he's awesome. Mm-hmm. And when he's not, he's not. The same was true for Ben Roethlisberger. He got hurt all of the time because he wouldn't go down. He was big. He loved the night in Big Ben. He didn't take the sacks. But I'll do my angry Homer segment.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. We were sold a false bill of goods, and maybe that's the problem with preseason football. We were told Kenny Pickett was working all season, all season. He looks incredible. 2 gloves, it doesn't matter. He gets in real NFL games. He is throwing the ball so hard at the wrong people. He's not hitting end wide receivers. Our offense is run by a complete doofus. We have no offensive line. He's running into sacks. He's trying to run away from sacks, but the offensive line aren't doing their job. We have one wide receiver he can't throw to because he's getting quadruple coverage. When the running back is the best receiver or the highest that has the most receiving yards and the most rushing yards, and both of those totals are pathetic on a Sunday, that is a problem.
Yeah.
And then Matt Canada had the gall to keep calling plays and get Kenny Pickett hurt. And it looked a lot worse on the field, but apparently he'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks, which I don't know if is a good thing, Leighton. He hasn't made that friggin' Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't know how you survived this season. And by you, I mean Steelers fans. I don't understand.
This is really bad. There's bad, and then there's what we've got going on this year. Because guess what? If we keep winning games back and forth and we just get above 500, like I've been saying since the beginning of the year, and we get another average draft pick and we lose out on guys like Caleb Williams and somebody like that to really be a franchise game changer, because that's what we really need is we need a deep QB class that where a few of the prospects are like can't miss. Okay. And I don't know if I agree and I can't miss. And I also don't know if Mike Tomlin has the ability to develop a quarterback if he doesn't hire the right offensive coordinators.
Right.
I don't know.
But is that the NFL? And we might already be there. Is that the NFL we want, where every team's just vying for the next best quarterback year in, year out? And
it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot too.
If that's the case, it's going to be the Chiefs dynasty for a long. They seem like the only team with a legit quarterback. I know they're dealing with the Travis Kelce and all that. They're going to be fine. Like they're going to be fine. Sure. Are we ready for that to be the Chiefs versus everybody else trying to figure it out?
It sure looks like it, bud. It really sure looks like it, because back when the league was a little more balanced and people ran the football a lot more. I mean,
yeah.
Got like those Christian McCaffrey Sundays like we had this past Sunday, that doesn't happen too often, right? No. That's few and far between. And it used to be more possible back in the day, but hell, if you can run the football,
running the wing T.
No. Yes. And also, if you have a great running back, your window is so small. Look, dude, what is Travis Henry doing this year? Nothing. Derrick Henry. Oh, yeah. He's not doing anything because the Titans stink, right? And look at Nick Chubb just got hurt again. So the position is just, it's the, okay, in movies when a car is on a cliff, right? And it's like, and the people in the car are like, oh my God, we're going to fall. And then the dad jumps out and the family gets out and then the car drops off last second. That's the running back position. Yeah, that's the running back position. It's one person. It's one pebble away from the car falling off the hill and exploding, Yeah.
I mean, watching our game yesterday, that's what I'm afraid is going to happen to Bijan Robinson. because we're getting to the point where our offense, downfield offense, is so bad. You know he's going to check down to Bijan, and he's getting 3 or 4 guys coming at him at this point. Week 1 was one thing. Now he's getting like smothered in the backfield, and it's we're one dimensional.
Totally.
I'm afraid we're going to be another one of those teams where down the drain goes a running back. So,
and as much as I don't hate, if they just make me nervous, running quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and like you see Josh Allen taking off on some of those QB sneaks, and he looks incredible. But at the same time, what is the shelf life? They're always hurt too. There's not the only person that has proven that the running quarterback over maybe the last 20 years has proven that the running quarterback could maybe sustain this is Lamar Jackson, and he is a freak. Cam Newton couldn't sustain. Michael Vick couldn't sustain. I mean, Deshaun Watson can't sustain. He's not good.
No.
The Browns are really good against bad teams. They're really good against bad teams this year. Really and truly.
They're the Cowboys of the AFC.
There you go. Don't tell Kevin I said that. I'm gonna be upset if you found out I said that. I hate talking about the Browns. I used to love talking about the Browns and just destroying them. But Kevin's like a really good family friend. I don't ever want to like say anything bad about it.
I really want y'all to do a family skit at Thanksgiving where the whole house is in Steeler black and gold, right? Black and yellow. And here comes Kevin. And you can literally hear like the spoon drop.
My little niece said she's 7, 8, something like that. She's such a little sweetheart. And she was like, "Are you going to watch the Browns game tomorrow, Uncle Josh?" And I was like, "The Browns game? What?" She's like, "But Uncle Kevin's coaching." I was like, "Yeah, I know." Okay. Yeah. And Amanda was like, "You can't talk to a 7-year-old like that." I was like, "Oh yeah, right. I was like, "Okay." Right. Yeah. She's like, "Well, the Steelers are my second favorite team." I was like, "What about when the Steelers play the Browns?" She's like, "Oh, I root for the Browns." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is so good." Yeah. Freddie Emerald said Kenny Pickett has a bone bruise, which that's better than I guess Joe Burrow's waiting to exhale Achilles tendon.
Yeah, they should just sit him down, give up.
It just looks really bad right now. I mean, he's not healthy. He can't run. He can't go anywhere. He can't push off that back leg. There's no zip on his ball. It's Freddie Emerald had a question in here I want to get to before we move on. And he said there are only 3 QBs have thrown 100 plus passes and 0 INTs as of now. Can you guess them? Well, I know there's not Kenny Pickett.
Is it NFL only, or is this like NFL and college football?
I think this is NFL. This is NFL.
100
let's
passes.
Let's see. Man.
And who hasn't thrown an interception?
Geno Smith? Has he thrown one? It's basically me on Madden. That's a really good end. Freddie Emil said it's Trubisky time. Hey, Freddie, it's never Trubisky time. Ever. There's no Trubisky time.
CJ Stroud thrown an interception?
Geno has an INT. Well, CJ Stroud yesterday looked like Dan Marino in 1994 against us.
We played him this week, and I think it's CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud is one of the 3. Wow, great call, Leighton. Okay. Let's see. Dak Prescott? Does he have picks?
He's got to have picks. I mean, did they not pick him off in that Cardinals game?
No.
Oh, they're in the same division. These quarterbacks are in the same division. The same division as CJ Stroud?
No, the other 2 quarterbacks are in the same division. Oh, it's got so Trevor Lawrence doesn't have a pick?
Oh, so is it Trevor Lawrence and Anthony Richardson? So they're all in the same division.
No, I think Peanut's saying they're in the same division, but not the same division as CJ Stroud. I think he as each other, not as Stroud. We got confused there. So
okay. They're in a different division. What division?
Oh, Brock Purdy, and who's
Geno
the other?
Or Matt Stafford. Geno Smith. Oh, the quarterback of the Cardinals. Who's quarterback in the Cardinals?
Josh Dobbs?
Is it Josh Dobbs?
Purdy and Dobbs. Look at that.
Wow, good job. Yeah, that's good. We're clipping this. We're clipping this. This is good. Yeah.
Here is a mind-blowing situation, right? Mind-blowing. Okay. put Geno Smith aside for a second. Geno Smith is playing fine in Seattle. Cool that he's making a comeback. I always liked him in college. I think he's got a good arm. I think he's got the best highlight of the season when he screamed, "Oh my God," when Aaron Donald was running at him. The Steelers have had Josh Dobbs as a third stringer or on the practice squad for 3 years. And now he's in Arizona, and somebody finally gave him the ball and let him play. Instead, we had Landry Jones and Mason Rudolph and now Mitch Trubisky all just dangling around, just fingering each other's buttholes, trying to like wait for the third water boy position. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Sorry. Yeah,
Did you see the Josh, pause. Did you see the graphic of who's quarterbacking Denver? Russell Wilson. Did you see the graphic I think that they put out? It's like a cartoon of him, but it's the toilet bowl graphic. All right. Talk. I'm gonna find it. It's really funny because my friends are like, honestly, I would have fought the graphic designer for this. That's how funny it is. So
sorry about the butthole comment, guys. I just got a little passionate because we let Josh Dobbs go, and I don't even know if Josh Dobbs is that good. But guess what? He's at least making Arizona entertaining. Yeah, and maybe it's Matt Canada's offense, and maybe I don't know. It just sucks as a sports fan that this entire weekend was a wash. And I know, and I'll leave you guys on the Angry Homer segment at this because we want to talk about Taylor Swift, and then we want to talk about the Ryder Cup. But my Penn State Nittany Lions are the only thing that are really bringing me any kind of sports joy at the moment. And I know for a fact that the other shoe will drop soon. It will drop soon. We're going to lose to Michigan, or we're going to lose to Ohio State, or we might even lose to both. Right? Oh, OVO Ghost actually has a really good problem. Bring back Ben to call the plays. Bring Ben Roethlisberger back to call the plays. Ben's play calling was run around, don't get tackled, hit a guy on a 25-yard out, which worked a lot. And we were good. And at least you had faith that every time he took the field, we at least had a shot to win. Anyway, something's going to happen. Penn State, I'm telling you, I've seen this show before. I've seen this time and time again. We actually look really good this year. Our quarterback is fantastic. Our defense is on another level. We're going to lose. We're going to lose to Ohio State or Michigan or both. And, we were tied 10-10 with Northwestern at half. And I was like, oh, no, it's the trap game. Oh, no, it's the trap game. We play bad against a crappy team. And then we won 41-13. So fine. It's fine. Our defense stood up. It is what it is. Something's going to happen here, Lay. And because I know it. I can't have nice things, Leighton. Can I just have one thing? One thing. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup, because that was the one thing I thought I had, Leighton. I thought we had a chance to win the Ryder Cup. Oh, no, that's the last thing we're talking about. Let's talk about, we don't have a graphic for you. Let's talk about Taylor Swift, okay?
Okay.
We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because I think enough time has been talked about it, and I love Jess Samola, Ruthless Cuties graphic here. This is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. This Taylor Swift. That's hilarious.
Rough. That's rough. That's a hard one.
Now, as Leighton knows, I met Taylor Swift when she was 10 years old or 11 years old, something of that nature. She did karaoke at a bar I worked at in South New Jersey at the beach. Okay. Now, I didn't know it was Taylor Swift until years later when a buddy of mine said, hey, you know that girl, that really annoying girl that used to do karaoke at Barney's or at Henny's? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that was Taylor Swift. I was like, get the hell out of here. That girl that came in with her dad and brought her own CD. They're like, yep, that was her. That was Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Like, well, anyway, when Taylor Swift brought Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, who I love Ryan Reynolds. Welcome to Wrexham's awesome. Blake Lively. Okay. They brought Hugh Jackman. See it. Okay. Fine. Great. I don't know who else you saw in that box, but it was just like a who's who of who's who. And now it's just Travis. I get why we keep but she's not a foot player. When they score a touchdown, you can't go to the booth. You could go to their mom. You could go to the owner. I don't care about the booth. Taylor Swift. How is this a thing? Jay Spacely, it's a travesty. Here's the thing. I like Taylor Swift's music. I'll listen to it any time. Take that, Freddie. Well done, Jay Spacely.
I don't know how.
What do you think? What does Ray think? Amanda's like, oh, Taylor Swift's at the game again. I get wanting to get the female audience.
Have you seen the TikTok of the guy? He's in the military.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm afraid of. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm afraid of. Like I'm afraid of these Swifties coming in and they're trying to own the football space now.
Right.
I mean, now if this is a marketing ploy for them to announce that next year's Super Bowl she's performing, cool. Greatest concept ever. But yeah, no, this sucks. I'll be honest, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. And
really?
her song, one of her songs that we will never, ever, ever get. That song's been stuck in my head all day, randomly.
I'll go talk to my friend, talk to your friend, talk
That's
to
the
me.
line. Wait, say the line again. How does it go?
You go talk to my friend. I don't know. It's just about friend. I don't know the exact words.
Okay, all right. That's the exact line that's been in my head all day long.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, her songs are bangers. Okay, straight up, her songs are bangers.
I heard her concert is great though. I heard her concert amazing. It's like a great performance. I might have to go.
Leighton, I'm taking nothing away from her music. I love it. I'm taking nothing away from her as an artist. What she's doing, and she's crushing it, and she's like giving back to the communities, and she's like giving bonuses to all the people that work on a tour. She's doing 3.5 hour show. She's playing all of the hits. She's doing a modern day Bruce Springsteen. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I know what it is, Josh.
What is it? Go.
It's NBA culture in the NFL because we're used to this in the NBA.
Oh,
think about it.
Kardashians.
So that's what I'm at the point. Now I'm at the point where it's like, is the NFL admitting that they're trying to tap into a broader fan base by highlighting more? So because we do this all the time. I mean, there's still the popular meme of Cardi B. She's jamming, eating popcorn on the sideline, and you know the Beyonce looking at LeBron. Like that's fine. So I wonder if this is the NFL saying, you know what, let's be a little bit like the NBA.
Yeah. Well, because Travis Kelce is basically, I mean, even before Taylor Swift, which was there are those husband pranks are funny, you know, and I sometimes believe that those are all staged a little bit. Like I don't know if they're good actors or what, but they feel staged at points to me, right? But they are funny. I get a laugh.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The military husband, the first ever one, that I think was real. That I think was real.
I think he was mad. I felt it.
I think he was legit mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady was the matinee idol, and there's a few Patriots like Julian Edelman and who was the other one? Who was the other hot guy? Danny Amendola, was he the other good looking dude? Julian Edelman. What was the other? Wes Welker was like kind of good looking, right? Like didn't girls think Wes Welker was good looking? You had Cam Newton, kind of a matinee idol kind of look, like really good looking dude. He was always stylish with his hats, you know. Oh no, I talked to a friend that really didn't know Travis Kelce was a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Well, he's not.
He's a Super Bowl winning tight end.
He's a Super Bowl.
All right, we'll handle this after show.
But
in my own home. Okay.
Travis Kelce is kind of like border crossing, you know, into mainstream prime time. Everywhere he goes, people know who he is. He's a really good looking dude. He's huge. He's got a great personality. He hosts a gigantic podcast, right? Like he is a media darling. We get that.
I give him his credit.
This partnership does not surprise me. And the fact and like how he made his move is a hell of a move by Travis Kelce, right? It's not that Taylor Swift is like trying to take football. The only problem I have is that right after the touchdown, they cut to her in the booth.
Yeah.
Cut to the players, cut to the quarterback, cut to the coaches, cut to the people that have actually put in time to make this happen.
It's like those funny skits where like the team gets that superstar player and they're like, all right, what's the rule? Pass the ball to Will. I think that's what's going on now in the production room. It's like, all right, a sack, Taylor Swift. You know, interception, Taylor Swift. You know, totally. Fan runs on the field, like whatever it is, just there's a Taylor Swift button now. So
there's a Taylor Swift button. Yeah. The funniest will be, and I was talking to a friend about this, is can you imagine in Madden 2024, Travis Kelce scores, they pan to a Taylor Swift in the boot in like a
that would actually be a great feature though.
That'd be awesome.
That would be a great feature. I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it.
Okay. Last thing I want to ask you about NFL Sunday is
Okay.
Did you happen to watch any of this Toy Story broadcast? Did you watch any of that?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah. And what did you think?
I want that for fan controlled football.
I do too. Immediately.
And
yes.
I want that to be a real feature on Madden. I would play a full game on there.
Yeah. Agreed.
Of course, I made my Kyler Murray joke because it was low hanging fruit. But yeah, that's really it. Like,
I went on to the first account that I saw with showing the Toy Story broadcast was Better, Jake Paul's company, and I was like, oh, I went in there. I was like, oh man, there's no Kyler Murray jokes in here. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, there's Kyler Murray. Like that's the joke, right?
Yeah,
that's the obvious joke right there. So I went in the Better comments, like, there's no Kyler Murray jokes. And I got all these comments back, like, take it easy, man. Take it easy. That's not fun. Like, wait, what? This really is Better. You guys are, this is like joke central. What are you talking about? So then I went to our place of hilarity and boom, there you had it. That's Leighton. You knew it was right there. It's low hanging fruit.
It's right there. If he was playing, I would have made that the first game we do it.
Yes.
I would have specifically had his run out. Like, all right. In time for the Kyler cam, boom, there it is.
I said to Amanda, I was like, man, this is some low hanging fruit, and it's not low hanging enough for Kyler Murray to grab it. Dang it, my little arms, my little legs. Yeah. But I think it's cool. I want them to do it with more movies. I think, a bunch of Spider-Mans, a bunch of like little Marvel guys out there, a bunch of little Jedis with lightsabers running around.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Right?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I'm just leave it at that. That's a great idea.
I will say this, and it's totally unrelated. It's in the movie world or whatever, but I think you'll enjoy it. Look up in the trailer for, I think it's Silent Night
okay.
It's a Joel Kinnaman movie. It looks kind of like Peppermint, but it's a Christmas movie, and it's like Christmas movie meets John Wick, and John Woo directed it. Check it out. It looks pretty sick.
Is this the? I don't know. I see something with a Santa holding an axe. Oh, that's from 2012. Okay.
That's no. It's an action movie. The trailer just came out today. I think I just saw it on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
All right. We got two more topics to get to. Next one is Trent Dilfer needs to calm down. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude just needs to calm down. Okay.
Total deal.
It's a dude I'd like to fight. That's what we're calling it.
That's what we're calling it. Yes.
I've been called neither a dude I'd like to fight or the other Dilfer thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you. But yelling at your coaches, yelling at kids in high school games, freaking out. It's not 1965. Okay. Yeah. It's not 1970. It's not like this isn't high school football where water was for the weak and we all watched Remember the Titans. And I kept thinking to myself, one of those kids is going to die. They're out in the hot and they don't have any water. One of those kids is going to get killed. Okay. That's how you die of heat exhaustion, dehydration. Kids do that. Okay. Trent Dilfer. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl, correct? Was he the right? Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Was he the one with the Ravens that won it on defense? Was that Trent Dilfer?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. He has a Super Bowl. That was him.
Okay. But Trent Dilfer is not the one that does the Elite 11, correct? That's not Trent Dilfer that does Elite. That's
I don't
Trent.
think so.
Anyway, can we as people, if you're a coach and you're a dad, just stop screaming at kids? It does nothing for them.
Yeah.
As a kid has been screamed at in multiple sports that I no longer play. I never liked playing those sports for those coaches ever. Never liked it. Ever wanted to play it. I understand like telling a kid, like really trying to help them, correct them, but yelling at him doesn't get anything. And as a dad now, when I yell at my daughter, I feel really bad about it. You got to talk to them. You got to be like, it's a constant thing. But screaming at your coaches and players on the sideline does nothing for them. And you know what it does, Leighton, and you can see it happens immediately. It goes viral and it does nothing for you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like the although it's a different situation, but did you see what Nick Saban said about like the Dan Lanning video before the Colorado game?
No,
No, he was like, well, so Saban was basically saying, like, look, like there's just certain things that should be for the media and certain things that should stay in the locker room. And I think that's how coaches need to be. Coaches should be mature enough to say, I'm mad at this athlete right now, but I'm not going to chew you out, or even my coaching staff. I'm not going to chew you out in the stadium, especially if I'm coaching for a Division I program that's playing a nationally televised game. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is.
Yep.
That's simple.
Keep it in the locker room. And if you're in the locker room, don't have AB in there Facebook living after a playoff game. How's that?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy rule. It's Jay Stacey asks a pretty solid question. Can we text in all caps, though? Asking as a future dad. Yes, texting in all caps is totally allowed. Totally allowed. 100%. All right. And finally, Leighton, you texted me about golf this weekend.
I was so mad.
Okay. And you know what, man? I appreciate you watching the Ryder Cup because
I didn't see.
First of all,
I didn't.
you like that?
These are all like I think I intentionally don't look at these before the show so they can surprise me.
Yes.
And this is funny. Good job. Good job, Jess.
She's good. She's good.
She's good.
She's really good. You texted me, how does Europe get to build a super team and how is that fair? Right? All those countries, all those people versus the United States. Now, there's been a lot that has been said. We haven't won on European soil since 1993. They've been better at the Ryder Cup than us in the last 20 plus years, but the last couple times in the US, we've smoked them. It is a very home field advantage tournament because it's a sport that doesn't deal with hecklers all that often, right? It's a sport that players play in relative anonymity and they don't get yelled at. And every now and then they'll get, like Brian Harmon during the British Open, they heckled him a little bit because he was American and he was from Georgia. But when they go to Europe and those fans are booing them and they are getting heckled for 18 straight holes and every shot that they hit is bad and every shot that the Europeans hit is good, it gets to them. And they came out of the gate so slow, Leighton. But your question is why does Europe get to build a super team? Well, back in the day, it used to just be Great Britain and Ireland versus the United States. And it was close at first, and then the United States got really good at golf, and Great Britain and Ireland were getting absolutely just trounced. And they decided to let all of Europe in, I think in 1979. It might be 1981, but I think it's 79. And then it became a very competitive thing when Seve Ballesteros was introduced, the Spanish guy, and he brought some passion into the Ryder Cup. And then it became heated and heated and heated and more heated and got even more heated. And then the Tiger Woods era, and then Europe even dominated. Tiger Woods has a losing Ryder Cup record. He's not good in the Ryder Cup. He's not.
Really?
Oh, got absolutely smacked. Like he would win singles matches, but he never won any of the team matches. And it is they built this European thing. Now, I will say this. I love the Ryder Cup. I get so excited for it every 2 years. I live in, dude, I stayed up all night on Friday night. I stayed up all night on Saturday night. I stayed up. I mean, I watched as much of the golf as I could before my body just shut down and I fell asleep. Okay. Because I was having it's a lot of golf and I tried to DVR it, but I don't do well in DVR sports. Anyway. I'm very tired today, is what I'm saying. We came out of the gates, Leighton, and we were down. It's like an NBA game, and we were down 30-3 in the first quarter. I'm 30-3, I think would be right. It's like if you scored 12 runs in the first inning, or if an NFL team, not even 28-3, Leighton. And I know that's a sour subject for you. I apologize.
Okay.
Not gonna, okay. Not even
28-3.
Ow. This is like 35-0 after the first quarter.
Oh, okay.
And we had a chance on Sunday to make a charge, but in the end just couldn't get it done. All of our stars played bad. We weren't making the Europeans just had it all. And I think it boils down to this simple thing. They want to beat us way more than we don't want to lose to them.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. We see that in sports all the time. That makes sense.
Right.
Where one team is like they treat you more of a rival than you treat them.
100%. It's like Pitt has a chant against Penn State, and Penn State never thinks about Pitt. That's how I think about things, right? Like, who does that? When I see an Ohio State or a Michigan fan, I'm like, oh man, Ohio State. And they're like, oh, did you go to Michigan? I'm like, I actually went to Penn State. Like, we don't really have a rivalry. I'm like, well, in my mind, we do.
Yeah, I hate you. Yeah, yeah.
But we always lose to you. We always lose to you. I mean, there are many different sports like that, but for the most part, when we go over to Europe, it just seems like the European team enjoys each other more. They play as a team better. They have each other's back more. And all of the U.S. team is more of like a 12-man individual. We're going to play our golf and hope that we win. There's no rah-rah speeches. They don't like that stuff. We need captains. We need people that get in there and be like, this is for your country. And none of us, I don't think any of our players
really treat it like
care.
Team. I mean, treat it like USA in the Olympics. Like, hey, we got to win this. Like, this is our thing.
This is our thing.
We got to beat them. Let them know who's boss.
I want like almost like a training camp, right? Like they go over to Europe for like 2 weeks and they get to know one another and they have team building exercises and maybe they play a couple of tournaments in Europe together, or they bring over, like some other players. And there's honestly there's a play-in system to it. Okay. So here's how it works right now, Leighton, is that there's a point system over a 2-year period. There's a point system that keeps going. Okay. And the top 6 guys get an automatic bid in this point system. Now it's a very arbitrary point system. Different tournaments have different point totals that you can earn. And there's too much points are weighted on majors. Okay. What I want is, okay, if you're going to give the top 6 guys automatic berths, there has to be a certain number of tournaments played. The major, like we have to redo our point system, and we have to, because going into this, our guys were kind of cold. Some of our guys weren't playing very good golf. I think what could be really cool is if we redo the point system and the top 6 guys get automatic picks, and the next 6 guys have to play in a 30-person tournament, like 4 weeks before the Ryder Cup. So you have to get 30 guys or 20 guys or 18 guys, whatever it is. And they are playing against each other in a 3-day tournament. And they have to play their way onto the team. Now you're probably saying to yourself, well, Josh, they already played their way onto the team. They sort of did, but they played their way into their team, like by accumulating some points in recent. We need like a real. I
see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather the top half be like the top, and then I'd rather the bottom half of the team be the guys who just like you grind it out. Because sometimes you need that group of just grit guys that had to go through the extra barrier. Because by the time they make the team, it's like, yo, I don't know if I'll ever be here again.
Right.
So now us 12 that makes so much sense. Okay, I can buy that.
Right, and you've got these 6 guys that earned their way onto that team through this crazy tournament, and the other guys are like cheering them on, and they're having these like, it's a made for TV event, man. It's like, hey, play into the Ryder Cup.
Two things. One, think about the docu series you can build around that. That'd be amazing for the fans to watch.
Yes.
But 2, the inter squad like tension, like we're the top 6 guys. All right, so whatever. So like they'll probably go to practice. They'll compete against one another. Iron sharpens iron. Yes. And now we go against Europe, and I'm just letting out everything I want to put out on my teammate and do that to you. Yeah, that makes sense.
And there was a big to-do about them not getting paid. They don't get paid for the Ryder Cup. They go there for the love of country. But imagine if they did pay these guys to keep them happy, and they went over there for like 3 weeks and had a like legit tournament, a training camp, like Miracle.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Because guess what? The top 30 golfers already make the tour championship. So of those guys in the Ryder Cup, those are the top 30 anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So of those top 30 guys, hey, you want to make the Ryder Cup team, you got to make that top 30. And then of that top 30, 6 automatically make it. The top 6 guys automatically make it. And then the next 6 guys play. So the next 24 guys play for 6 spots. That is not that out of the realm of possibility. And then, Leighton, the tour championship actually becomes fucking relevant because nobody cares about it now. Imagine that is the top 12 dudes at the top 6 guys from the Tour Championship make the Ryder Cup team. Of the next 24, 6 dudes have to play their way onto the Ryder Cup team. Now those guys, like you said, iron sharpen iron. Those guys are going at each other. It is a no holds barred tournament. And then they go straight into the Ryder Cup 2 weeks later, having earned that spot. And they are so ready to beat Europe. Like, we are training them in their heads.
That's a narrative. That's a narrative I can get behind. I think that's the issue in sports. A lot of sports, they're losing narratives, right? So that's something I could get behind. It's like, yo, this is about the top guys being the top guys, and they have to go represent us. Like, this makes sense.
And then there's no controversy. It's like, oh, his captain's pick was like the 19th ranked guy in points, but he's really good in Ryder Cups, and he's got a lot of passion for the team. How about the guys that just play awesome golf and want to go in there? Now you've got, like you said, dude, every 4 years, the Olympics, you may never go again. You may never go again.
Well, that's what I like about the Olympics, though. Obviously, outside of the basketball team, every other sport, they're not selected. Like, think about how many races all the track stars have to go through and all the competitions, even on hockey. Like, that makes sense. So, yeah, I think USA sports across every sport, like, we need to have one standard of how we're going to pick our athletes, and it should always be the gauntlet. Like, you have to go through the top. You have to be the best at the sport. I don't care if you're the biggest name. You have to be the best at the sport always.
Yeah. You want to compete at the highest level, you got to earn it. I mean, hell, if Michael Phelps went to the U.S. Olympic trials, they have, you got the top 2 swimmers in each event make the Olympics. Top 2. 2 people. It's all that can go to the Olympics in each event. And then you've got 4 to 6 people. You've got alternates for relays and stuff like that. But they're not competing in the individual sport. So imagine if Michael Phelps, the year in the Olympic trials where they thought, oh, he's going to win 8 medals, went to the trial and came in 3rd. He doesn't get to compete in that event. So that dream is over. That's how the sports work. Yeah, it's sick, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, guess what? I had a pretty rough year on tour. Like this year, Justin Thomas, right? But for all intents and purposes, he had some passion in the Ryder Cup. He won his singles match, but everything else was trash. He was the lowest strokes gain in the tournament. Out of 24 guys, he was the worst player. And he was one of the more controversial captain's picks. He was like 73rd in the FedEx Cup points. He wouldn't even had a chance to make the team. You want to make that team, you got to earn that effing spot, and you got to make that team. You got to earn that shit. Remember the most tragic part of Miracle in that movie was when that really likable guy, Ralph Cox. Remember, he comes to the office and he's like, Ralph, if I could have 21 guys on the team, I would. And he's like, I know, coach. He's like, I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. I mean, that's fucking heartbreaking. It's cut. But hey, those other 2 dudes, they were a family. They won that gold medal. And guess what? We haven't had a team like that since. It's a proven shit. It's proven.
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting an argument from me on that one. I get it. I agree.
And now, Leighton, going into it, we look at these, like, we have all of these pre-produced segments. If you guys remember, we had a Hard Knocks for like the Ryder Cup, and we got the people qualifying for the Ryder Cup, and we went in and we followed them as they were getting ready for the Ryder Cup and like showing the rah-rah speeches and getting all this shit. And now we're 3,000 times more invested in this. Yeah. That's all we want is access. Listen, if you want to keep making them, go ahead.
Do we need the same thing for Team USA baseball? I mean, I know, like, you get my point. Like, I know we're just in the championship, but still, like, I no longer feel confident about Team USA baseball in
nobody
anything.
Nobody does. I think that would be effing awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, we said we weren't going to do an hour show, but here we are. An hour.
Here we are. We just had a lot to get off our chest.
We really did. We really did. Hey, we're back to work. Next week will be 1 p.m. Pacific, and then we're gonna start doing more live events as the app starts going live. Tune in to the Fan Control Show on Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. We're gonna have one announcement, another announcement next week. Hopefully, a new live app. We got new live stuff. I mean, October, November, and December are gonna be pretty lit with live stuff.
Yeah,
probably gonna make a trip to Atlanta and do a week of content with Leighton. Whether it's Top Golf, bowling, we'll figure it out. Maybe get some fans involved. And then we're going to have some announcements for 2024. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. So thank you all. We appreciate everybody in chat. It's Jay Spacely, Freddie Airmail, OVO Ghost, Peanut. Thank you guys for being here. Ray. Oh, thanks. Happy birthday, Amanda. Happy birthday to my wife. She's amazing. And thanks to Taylor Swift, really and truly. Thank you so much for all that you do for sports,
Yeah. Just a legacy of just.
Back to work.
Until then, Leighton, power to the fans. Keep talking while I find that end card.
Power to the fans.
There you go.
Thank you, fans, for watching Back to Work with Leighton Batiste and Josh Macuga on the fan-controlled sports and entertainment YouTube channel. If you liked this video, you can check out other videos right here. You can subscribe to the channel, tell all your friends, hit like buttons across all the videos, check out all of our shorts and live shows, and as always,